Hello friends, welcome to 3 Minute Game Pass. I'm Nathan, and I'm going to tell you whether or not this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. The game today we have is called Descenders. What happens if you mix a downhill stunt bike game with procedurally generated roguelike mechanics? What? Does that even work? Let's find out. Descenders is an Xbox and PC cross-platform release, and it supports both cross-save and cross-play, which is great. It is also upgraded for Xbox Series X and S for FPS and 4K, and the game time, the runs can only last anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, and the game has almost infinite replay value because, again, it's a roguelike run-based game. So what exactly is Descenders? It is a downhill biking game with an emphasis on doing lots of stunts and not crashing. Basically, the gist is you select courses to progress towards a boss course in each area. Every single course or every single map you encounter has different stats and a different side objective where if you do it, you gain an extra life. The stats include things like how twisty the course is, or how downhill it is, steep, or how many stunts are available. Crashing will remove a life in your run and set you back to a checkpoint unless you crash big mode, and then you lose 2 lives if it's particularly spectacular. Doing tricks and risky behavior gives you points or rep, which over the course of a run will unlock crew members which provide permanent buffs for the rest of the run, including things such as less crap off of the course, better impact compensation, and so on. After you beat a boss jump, you go to the next area and continue where it gets a lot harder. Beating a boss jump with its side objective 3 times lets you start at the next area whenever you want, so you don't have to replay the first area anymore. And so the gist is you keep doing runs, you unlock sponsors to have more goals, and the game gets harder, and you get better, and that's basically it. What do I like about this game? The controls are fantastic, and the course generation makes every single run interesting. You always feel in control, which is important for this kind of game, and it feels great as you play it. The game also has a good difficulty balance. It's pretty hard, but not so hard that you don't feel like you're improving, and every time you unlock a new area, it becomes a bigger, harder challenge, so it always feels like it's constantly ramping up. And lastly, this game's really addicting. This game became my go-to, I don't know what to play game for several weeks, where I just boot it up and do a couple of runs. In terms of things that didn't really work for me, sometimes the sub-objectives, since they are randomly generated, seem impossible based off the track. It is annoying when you have a do a triple backflip goal, and there's one ramp on the whole course and it's not big enough to do that, so you just can't do the sub-objective. I did encounter some graphical glitches, including a lot of texture pop-in and pop-up and draw distance issues, as well as some issues when fog is generated. This was off the SSD on Series X. And lastly, the repetition might bug some people since the core loop is basically the same thing over and over. There's no permanent upgrades to this. Everything you upgrade is cosmetic. You're not going to get a new bike with new stats or anything like that. Every run is going to be fairly identical in terms of your kit. So overall, I rate games here on a must-play, maybe consider don't bother. This is a must-play. I was genuinely shocked when I decided I was going to give it a must-play. I didn't think I'd give the game a must-play the first time I booted it up, but after finding myself coming back to it over and over for the past 2 weeks, I have to admit, this is a great pick-up-and-play game for small play sessions. And the best part is the minute-to-minute gameplay is really engaging. The fact that it's so challenging makes it really fun, and then you can intersperse the hard tracks with an easier course, so you kind of have a warm down, and then you do another hard course again, or go to a hard area. It's just really great. The addictive score attack nature of the game really reminded me of when I used to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 way back on the PS1, and that, my friends, is high praise. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and go out there and enjoy the hell out of Descenders.